Hello everybody, my name is Epigen, and welcome back to the mess that is my channel. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Geomag stabilizers and the buff they got to it. And honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that the Geomag stabilizers are in a lot better position than they were. And honestly, they're a lot better than they were in their pre-nerfed form. It's their original form, I should say. And I'm going to show you the synergies and all that and the build I've made with it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's get started. Before we go on to talk about the mods and all that, I want to talk about the exotics first. So, let's talk about the Geomag stabilizers. And the only thing they did to it is that when you now collect an ionic trace, you get super energy, right? And that pairs very nicely with Cold Heart. And what Cold Heart does now is, in its perk, it says that it'll periodically generate ionic traces while in its high damage state. So when it's at its highest damage state, it will generate ionic traces for you, and it is very forgiving on how much it gives you. So those two synergize very well together to make this build come together. Now let's talk about the mods real quick. So on our helmet we have a kinetic, an arc siphon, and an arc siphon with a heavy ammo finder. On our gauntlets we have heavy-handed, impact induction, and bolstering detonation. On the chest base we have 2 charged ups. On the legs we have stacks on stacks and elemental charge. There would be like an innovation or invigoration there. And for the bond we have a special finisher, a reaper, and a bomber. Now going to the subclass, I'm going to be using the chain lightning melee, the pulse grenade, arc souls, electrostatic mind, and then for the fragments we got spark of discharge, so arc final blows have a chance to give us an ionic trace, spark of ion so we can make it more ionic traces from a jolt target, spark of shock, spark grenade now jolts, and amplitude stella we get orbs of power when we defeat multiple targets while amplified. Now, if you want, you can trade this out for beacons where arc special weapons also create a blinding explosion. That is also an option you can do. Fast, with everything going on with the fragments giving me ionic traces, the Cold Heart giving me ionic traces, my grenade giving me like everything synergizes so well together, and it can even be moved around a little bit. Like if you want to blind targets, you can put on beacons instead of amplitude, and still have all 3 options of the ionic traces. Still be able to produce more with Cold Heart once again. And even with your arc soul can create ionic traces. So everything works together so well and meshes together to make you getting your super you just get your super so fast now with this build. And that's really why I say that it's a lot better. Sure, running was the way to get your super back, which was super passive and all that. I think this is just as passive, and if not a greater benefit than it was, even though obviously you had that 20% gap that it would fill up to when your super hit a large point. But honestly, I'd rather have this form of the Geomags than the old form. That is just my opinion about it. That's how I feel about it, and I've had so much fun making this build. So that's basically all I got for this. The rest of the video is going to be some strike gameplay. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.